Hey there, I'm Megan Fox with PJmedia.com, and a bunch of you have asked me where is my interview with Tucker Carlson. So I thought that I would just go through it with you right here, right now, and show you my appearance on Tucker Carlson. It must be hard to find on my channel or something, so let's just do this, shall we? So I'll share the screen. And so, yeah, it was interesting. I'll tell you about how this happened. So I wrote this article, and it was called... what was it called? It was called How to Harpy Proof Your Son, I think. It was during the time when Brett Kavanaugh was being confirmed to the Supreme Court of the United States, and Christine Blasey Ford made some 30-year-old allegations where she had absolutely no evidence to back it up. She had, even her star witness said they didn't remember any such party happening. She was absolutely lying. She was caught in a lie several times. I ended up writing a book about it. The book came after the appearance. I ended up writing a book about it called Believe Evidence, The Death of Due Process from Salome to #MeToo. I don't know. It's not my favorite book that I've ever written. My favorite one is Shut Up. I feel like this one is a little dated now because it happened so many years ago, but whatever. Anywho, it's basically a historical look back through all the times that women lied to get men imprisoned or worse, killed. Like Salome in the Bible, she had John the Baptist's head chopped off, if you remember that. So anyway, it was this, Tucker called after I wrote that article on PJ Media, and he wanted to interview me, and it was really quite an experience. It really was. They had, here, I'll get to it in a second, but I should tell you how it happened. When Fox News calls, like, they send cars for you to come to the studio. And I was shocked. So they called my editor, and she got hold of me, and she was like, "Oh my God, Tucker wants you on the show tonight." And that's really exciting and fun. And she's like, "Call this woman right now." And I did. And they said, "Where do you live? We're going to send you a car to pick you up." This is pre-COVID, of course. And they did. They sent this driver to come take me to a TV station in the nearest city, which is Rochester. And it was like some public broadcasting station. And I was all alone in a room with one camera pointed at me and a little red dot. And I was supposed to just sit there and watch the dot. And I had an earpiece in, and I was just supposed to wait for Tucker to come. You can't see anything. There's no monitor. Like, you can't see Tucker. It's extremely disorienting. And the camera was like way too low. Here, I'm actually going to raise my camera right now. The camera was way too low, and it was like I look so fat. I have this, puffy neck, and I hate it, but whatever. I also enjoy cheeseburgers, and that's part of the problem. But the angle was low. And if you're as a woman, that like this camera angle is really bad, but this camera angle, much better, right? The camera's got to be a little higher to hide this. But anyway, I was so disappointed with the camera angle. I look 10 pounds heavier or 15 pounds heavier than I actually am. So it's true. The camera adds 15 pounds. But here is my interview with Tucker. And my favorite part is when I make him laugh really hard. And that was a lot of fun. All right, let's play it because this is super fun. I was so nervous. I had notes and they were on my lap. So you'll see me looking down a couple times. And that's because I had to put down my notes to make sure that I didn't screw up. Here we go.
Megan Fox writes at PJ Media. She has wrote a piece telling parents how to Christine Blasey Ford proof your son. She had 4 tips for all parents. Megan Fox joins us tonight. Megan, thanks a lot for coming on. So what does this mean? What's the prophylactic against getting accused of something? And what would you tell parents to tell their boys?
Well, there is no total prophylactic, of course, but I would tell them to first, when they're young, for sure, take them to church, give them a moral standing in life, teach them about their dignity as a person and the dignity of others. The second thing is to avoid drinking, stay sober, avoid girls who drink, avoid these drunken parties that can be used against you in 30 years. And also always act as if you are going to have a position of authority and a high position and act accordingly. It's like the Mike Pence school of thought. Don't be alone with a woman who's not your wife.
Wait a second. That's like crazy evangelical stuff, isn't it?
That's what they've brought us to, Tucker. That's what they brought. We're going to have to bring back chaperones. I mean, there is no way to, I love my son, and I do not want my son to be accused falsely. And so he's going to have to cover himself.
You're right. So what's tip 4?
Okay, wait, I just have to say this angle is so bad. And look at that. Look at the shadow on my neck. I mean, I look like I have no neck. Like, it's just awful. That cameraman, oh, and my hair, oh, the hair. That was back when I was wearing it straight and blowing it out and then putting curls in it. It was so destroyed. Hated it. So anyway, here comes the big laugh.
Well, don't trust women. I think you just touched on that with your last... with your last guest. I mean, women are not paragons of virtue just by being a woman. You've ever heard of Delilah or Jezebel, who fabricated evidence against Naboth because she wanted his vineyard? Women do lie. I want evidence. I believe evidence. I don't believe all women. I believe all evidence. And if
what's so funny is that spoken such like, I mean, I'm just being completely honest. I kind of do trust all women. I know I shouldn't intellectually, but I think that most men, and the left lies about this, instinctively trust women. I do think it's baked in our genetic cake. I do. That's how I feel anyway. And all the women I know are deeply suspicious of women's motives. Do you notice this?
That's because we know what we're talking about. That's because I am a woman. I know this for a fact. I've known women my whole life. Women are just as easily evil as men.
I just don't believe that. But I mean, obviously, I know you're right, but it's hard to convince me. Megan, thank you very much for that.
Thank you, Tucker.
Yeah. All right. That was
Megan Fox writes at
so that was a whole lot of fun. And I am still miserable, though, about that camera angle. And if I ever get invited back on a Fox News again or any TV station again, I will make sure that they raise the camera level so that they're not looking like the camera was done. That was just the worst angle ever. Also, keep your chin down. Like, keep the chin down, ladies, chin down. And this works for photographs also. So if you want to get rid of your double chin, just put your chin down. Good God. Anyway, I thought you might enjoy that because a bunch of you have been like, you were on Tucker? Where? So that was fun. I wish that I had not been wearing my hair like that, though. I much prefer this color on me. And obviously my natural curls are way better than whatever that was. All right. I hope you enjoyed that. Oh, and by the way, that appearance made me, that's why I wrote this book. Because Tucker's comments about how he just instinctively does believe women, I was like, that's not smart. Don't do that. Believe the evidence, folks. Believe the evidence. And that's why we have a due process. That's why we have innocent unless proven guilty, because we don't want terrible tragedies like this to happen. One of the worst tragedies that I wrote about in this book, and I bet you've never heard this story, is about the Scottsboro 9. And the Scottsboro 9 were a group of young Black boys who were riding on a train, and they were accused by 2 white girls who got onto who I guess they were the white girls were trying to stay out of trouble. They weren't supposed to be where they were. And so because they were there, I think that's how the story goes. I don't remember off the top of my head, but they accused the boys of gang rape. And those boys, the youngest of which was like 9 years old or 10 years old, went to prison and almost went to the death penalty. They were saved by it, and you can read all about it in the book. They were saved, but it was some of them did spend time in prison, many, many years actually. And it was a horrific miscarriage of justice based on the word of 2 women. So, we can't go backwards. Let's not go backwards. And that's basically what the book is about. And it's available on Amazon. So thanks for tuning in. Talk to you later.